Mare of Easttown is a mini-series that is on HBO Max. It's 7 episodes long, and it stars Kate Winslet, who plays a detective in a small Pennsylvania town whilst investigating a murder and at the same time dealing with personal issues at home. This was a TV miniseries I was very much so looking forward to. I didn't watch it week to week until episode 5, I believe. So 5, 6, 7 I did watch every Sunday. But the first 4 I unfortunately didn't. Doesn't mean I wasn't looking forward to it. I just had other stuff that I unfortunately had to deal with first. But again, I was still looking forward to the show because I felt like it was tailor-made for me. For one, it's a mystery. I love mystery TV shows and movies. I feel like it's a very delicate genre, though, because if done wrong, it can fall flat. Like, example, if a TV show has it where there's a mystery and, you know, for 8 episodes it has you hooked, line, and sinker, but then episode 9 and 10 fall flat, then honestly, you're going to remember those last couple episodes and you're not going to want to revisit it, unfortunately. And same with the movie, if it falls flat in its final act. So I was worried about that, but at the same time, I know it's a risk that you go into with every mystery. It also stars Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet I'm a huge fan of. She's probably my favorite actress, honestly. Takes place in Pennsylvania. I am born, bred, and obviously raised in Pennsylvania. Currently still living in Pennsylvania, so I was curious to see how they were going to depict Pennsylvania. And then, of course, it's an HBO TV show. HBO is probably my favorite TV channel. So, yeah, there's a lot building up to this TV miniseries for myself. And I have to say, it's really good. I really like this TV show. I think that it's very effective. All 7 episodes are intriguing. All 7 episodes kept me interested and glued to the screen, especially episode 5. That is the standout. I will tell you guys right off the bat, episode 5, in my opinion, is the best of the show. I really think that it was hard to top that. I do think episode 6 and 7 are also really good, but I think that episode 5 is that golden masterpiece. I could definitely see it getting nominated for Emmys with that episode alone. But let's talk about other stuff. So, the characters. I really liked the characters and the writing of this show because the characters and the way that they're written are really integral because the story itself, it starts out where it's a simple premise, but it really builds because of those characters, because these characters are very interesting. You have it where these characters are fully populated. They're 3-dimensional people that you really do care about. And more importantly, they're not black and white per se. They are very much so dealing in gray areas. One moment you might be able to really latch onto a character, and the next moment you really don't care about that character. Or you're like, no, that character, like, why'd they do it? It's something that I really think is fascinating, and it keeps you honestly on your toes with guessing who did what and when. And I really liked that. I thought that was something that was very nice, because even Kate Winslet's character, you know, you see her as obviously the good guy because she's the lead character, but she is dealing with a lot of stuff where you can honestly question if she is the good guy. And I'm not going to spoil anything in that regards, but I really did like that approach. And I also think that the actors that are, you know, playing these characters also do a great job. Kate Winslet and Jean Smart have great banter together. A lot of it was improv, and honestly, they do such a great job. I would not for a second think that it was improv because it just felt so natural. They were great. Guy Pearce is also in this, and he's really good. Evan Peters is also really, really good. I think that it's one of those things where he's going outside of that, you know, Marvel franchise where obviously he was in X-Men and then he was also in WandaVision. So I'm glad to see him doing other things outside of that. So it was really good to see him in this. And also, he did such a great job, especially in episode 5. Another shout out to episode 5. And then obviously Juliana Nicholson is also really, really good. She has a lot that she has to do in this show, and she nails it. But the other thing I wanted to say is all of these actors have one especially hard thing to do. And I feel like a lot of people outside of Pennsylvania won't have to worry about this, but they have to focus on a certain dialect in Pennsylvania. And a lot of people in my area, they have watched the show and they're like, that's not how we sound. And it burns me to say this, but I really want to say to them, Pennsylvania is a huge state. Not everyone is going to talk the same way. Like, are you serious? It just annoys me to no end because it's like, Mare of Easttown is focusing on a very, very specific dialect. So for HBO and the creators to go to such a length to really want to focus and depict it in an accurate way, that little slither, for other people in the state to be up in arms and really frustrated, that just annoys me because it's kind of like with New York. You know, think about the New York accent. Not everyone probably talks like in a New York accent. I mean, I know for myself, I talk to people in New York, and not all of them sound like that. Everyone is different. Everyone is going to sound different state to state. And honest to God, not everyone in the same state is going to sound the same. So to all you Pennsylvania watchers that are watching this, keep that in mind before you bash these hardworking actors and actresses that really did a great job with their roles. Just saying. Anyways, that's my rant for the day. So going back to the writing, obviously I said the characters are really intriguing in those regards, but it also helps that not only do you constantly fear for, the lives of certain characters, but also wonder who did what when. It's also great to see the twists and turns, how they're revealed, because there is a lot of focus on visual storytelling. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot of dialogue, but the visual storytelling is very strong. There's just little cues here and there that I think were really effective. And, even just with the eyes, a lot of things are just done by the eyes of the characters, really kind of emulating the thoughts of the audiences where it's like, oh, shoot. And I really like that. Also, I love the cinematography. It's very muted in its color palette, but it's fitting because, honestly, if you visit Pennsylvania at least in my area, let me rephrase that, in my area, when you go to Pennsylvania and during the time period that this TV show takes place in, it does very much look gloomy. And I think they did a good job with that. More importantly, it also fits the tone like a glove because the tone of this show is very serious. So it's perfect. I really liked that. I really liked the way that they color graded this show, honestly. I thought it was very effective at really emulating what they were going for. So props to the filmmakers. So really liked that. Very well edited, too. I think that there are a couple slow patches in the first couple episodes, which is why I'm not going to say this is a perfect show, because I do have a couple issues. One being it does take a little bit to get going. It's not like the first couple episodes I was bored per se, but there were moments of a stretch where I was kind of like not fully on board, where I was like, this is good, but it's not great. It wasn't until around episode 4 where I really caught steam and I was like, yeah, this is really, really good. But the first 3 episodes are nothing to sneeze at. They're still really well done. The other thing I wanted to mention, and this is something that, take it for what it will. I mean, who knows, maybe in a couple of years I'll look back and say, this is negative, you shouldn't really have, Chad. But the score for the show I wasn't the biggest fan of. I really think that a show like this, I personally would have had a score that isn't just background noise. I'm not the biggest fan of when a score is just background noise. I like it when it's in the forefront and it almost be playing like a character. This wasn't the case with this show. The music was just background noise, and I really do wish that they had a score like, say, Prisoners. I feel like if you look at the score for Prisoners and you put that score in this show, I think it would have been a perfect fit. Obviously, don't do that because that's copyright issues, but I feel like it would be perfect. So I kind of wish that they did more with that. Again, who knows? Maybe I'll look back and I'll say to myself, it's not really something to complain about. But for myself, I couldn't help but think about that. I couldn't help but think about how it just played as background noise and how I wasn't really a big fan of that. But besides that, Mare of Easttown, I really liked it. I thought it was a very investing show. It somehow was able to bump cliches. It was able to surpass them because a lot of times when you're watching something, you can be like, this is cliche. But if it's done really well, you forget about the fact that you've seen this before because the truth be told, you've seen a lot of stuff before, but it's all in the execution. If it's done really well in the execution, then it's not cliche in my opinion. So Mare of Easttown is able to buck that trend and at the same time give you a very investing mystery that gives you lots of answers, whilst at the same time giving you red herrings that hold up very well, and also excellent filmmaking with very few minors. So for myself, Mare of Easttown, I'm going to be giving it a 4.35 out of 5. Which I know normally I don't do that. Normally I do 4.25, but I did the math and everything, and that's what the rating would be, which that would be obviously Louisiana Pure Crystal Hot Sauce. So obviously, with my scale per se, it would be a 4.25 out of 5, but, just throwing it out there, it's like 4.35. But, guys, Mare of Easttown, if you've seen it, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also, if you're from Pennsylvania, even more curious to hear your thoughts. And, almost forgot to say this, but it was really cool here in Wawa. Wawa is something that I hear all the time, obviously, in my area. So it was very interesting to see that they honestly gave Wawa a shout out because I feel like I've seen a couple thousand movies at least and many, many TV shows, and I don't think I've ever seen Wawa advertisement. So props to the filmmakers for that too, because I was not expecting that. But yeah, like I said, Mare of Easttown, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, hit the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.